Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a situation that I've seen throughout the Ninjago community that honestly isn't really all that great in my opinion, and it kind of just feels pointless to me personally. That of course involves Ninjago series co-creator Tommy Andreasen and a lot of people having a lot of hate and disdain for this guy for whatever reason. Now this situation has been pretty abundant over the past few years for the Ninjago community, especially as of late for some reason. A lot more people have been requesting that I talk about this too, so I guess let's do that. I'm sure this video though, and my thoughts on this situation will unfortunately be controversial, but it is what it is. I feel the need to speak my piece, so let's talk about it. A lot of this hate does involve Ninjago Crystallized, which obviously is one of the more controversial Ninjago seasons out there. I'd say people are pretty split on this season from what I've seen. I personally don't think it's all that bad. It does have a lot of problems in my opinion, but I don't think it's anywhere near the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Ninjago content. A lot of people don't agree with that, that's fine, but I've seen a lot of that hate carry over to Tommy Andreasen as well, and his reactions to people reacting negatively to Crystallized at the time that it came out. For example, this old tweet from 2022 has been brought up a lot recently. Now let me get one thing straight, Tommy Andreasen and every other human being on the planet is not above criticism, right? And I totally agree that this tweet could have been worded better, but I'm not sure if it's worth losing our minds over, especially 2 years after Crystallized ended. In this tweet, Tommy Andreasen is pointing out how Ninjago fans rush to hate something constantly without fully understanding the situation or the episodes themselves. And we've seen this happen time and time again. It's no secret that Ninjago has never had a consistent release schedule, and more often than not, the episodes will leak in foreign languages before they actually do release in English. And every time it happens, you do see people getting upset about it. I've documented that quite a bit over the years, and I feel like that is more so what Tommy Andreasen is making fun of here in this tweet, where he points out that obviously foreign languages would sound like gibberish to those who do not speak the language. And I don't think that's a controversial statement to say. I mean, the English language sounds like gibberish to everyone who doesn't speak English. Doesn't matter what language it is, if you don't speak the language, you're not going to understand it. Doesn't make you a bad person, just means that you don't speak that language. Like I've said though, this tweet could have been worded better because obviously it can be interpreted a million different ways, and Ninjago fans have been interpreting it a million different ways, turning it into an accusation of prejudice. Not really sure if that's my place to comment on that, but that's definitely not where my mind went immediately. To me, again, he was just poking fun at the fact that Ninjago fans will get mad no matter what happens. I've seen a lot of people say that that explanation is also not applicable here, because apparently Ninjago Crystallized could be understood without even listening to the dialogue. Not sure if I agree with that. I feel like dialogue is essential, especially for a show like Ninjago. Some shows do work without having any dialogue. They rely purely on visual storytelling. Ninjago is not one of those shows. Again, in my opinion, you are free to disagree, of course. And again, going back to the tweet itself, again, this could have been worded better. We've talked about a similar situation a while ago with the character of Cyrus Borg, where it was mentioned by Tommy Andreasen that Cyrus Borg was designed specifically to be disabled, so it would be easier for the Overlord to possess him during Season 3. I wasn't the biggest fan of that explanation, and I was very clear regarding my stance on that post a while ago as well. Some folks would also say that Tommy Andreasen was just too defensive over Crystallized just in general, and I can agree with that as well, but I can totally see why he felt the need to defend Crystallized as much as he did at the time that it was coming out, because this was Tommy Andreasen's last season working on the show. He wanted to make it as good as possible, and while some of it worked, again, Crystallized is not a perfect season, but I can see why he was so passionate about this season and why he was so disappointed that it did not work for a lot of people out there. And while I can criticize Tommy Andreasen for maybe being too defensive, I can also say that a lot of Ninjago fans do kind of make it their whole personality to hate on Crystallized every chance that they get. I can see how that can be exhausting. I've also seen the need to constantly hate on Tommy Andreasen unfortunately make its way over to LEGO DreamZzz as well, with a lot of people hating LEGO DreamZzz specifically because Tommy Andreasen is working on that show now. Again, following Crystallized, he left Ninjago. He is not involved with Dragons Rising in any way. Instead, Tommy Andreasen is working on LEGO DreamZzz. And say what you will about LEGO DreamZzz, it's definitely not my favorite thing out there, and I haven't seen the majority of LEGO DreamZzz, but from what I've seen, there are issues to point out, and there are issues with how LEGO DreamZzz as a series is being marketed by LEGO. But Tommy Andreasen simply being a part of the LEGO DreamZzz staff, I don't think that has any relevance to any conversation out there, because it's not like there has never been a good Ninjago season before Dragons Rising Season 1. And speaking of which as well, I've seen a lot of people say that Dragons Rising is as good as it is because Tommy Andreasen is not working on Dragons Rising. That's the only reason why Dragons Rising is so good. But to me, that statement is extremely ignorant and disrespectful, not only to Tommy Andreasen as a person, but also to the current showrunners of Ninjago Dragons Rising. It's almost like their work doesn't even matter. It's also worth mentioning that a lot of people that might have this hateful mindset are on the younger side. Maybe they joined in around Crystallized. Maybe that's why they are so against it. Not too sure. And again, a lot of this is generated from Twitter, which has a reputation for being overly negative about everything. So I guess that's worth keeping in mind as well. At the end of the day, though, nobody is above criticism, especially not Tommy Andreasen. I've been critical about some things that he's said in the past, but I think there's a difference between criticizing someone and obsessing over criticizing someone. And I'm not sure if people feel the need to constantly try to find negativity and call it out in order to be seen as a good person by their peers or what. Tommy Andreasen is not perfect by any means, but I feel like a lot of his positive contributions to the Ninjago series vastly outweigh the negatives, and I still believe that there are more good Ninjago seasons than bad ones out there. And like I said, Crystallized to me isn't even the worst thing ever. It wasn't as strong as it could have been, and I've said that before, but it's nowhere near as bad as, say, Day of the Departed or Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu. It seems like some people just don't like positivity, and I guess that's fine or whatever, you know, you do you. I'm sure I'm gonna get some hate for this video though for not jumping on the Tommy Andreasen hate bandwagon. Again, not really sure if it's productive to hate the guy's guts or anything like that. I mean, we can criticize him, sure, but again, it just kind of feels weird to see people throw this guy under the bus and literally hate the ground that he walks on. With that being said though, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Just wanted to talk very quickly about Tommy Andreasen and a lot of the recent hate that I've seen for him as a person, just based on, in my opinion, things that probably shouldn't matter all that much. But leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments. What exactly do you think about all of this? Do you feel like the Ninjago community is in the right for all of this? Or do you feel like some people might be taking it a little bit too far? And again, this video was solely just my own opinion. The comment section is open for any and all disagreements that you might have. All I ask is just keep it civil. I was civil in today's video, so try to do the same thing. Leave all of your thoughts down below, and thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe. Do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.